All right, I'm coming back on. Today's such a mellow night, guys. We're continuing. I'm going to see if anybody jumps back on real quick because we always get cut off. Mellow energy today. Really is, which is a good thing. Hey, Mama, did you get your message I sent you? Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad it helped. Mama, did you get the message I sent you? Because I got the picture and I'm so excited that you got it. Okay, we're going to do this. I got to put my headset on. But you did, thank you. Did that make sense? You have so much brilliant energy around you and you have so much love. Not only within you, but around you. Let it flow. You have to, I know you're so worried and there's so many things that are frustrating and upsetting you right now, Mama, but you have to allow it you have to let yourself breathe and change the energy. If you feel that way, he feels the way. And honestly, remember we got it said he just didn't really care. Just for himself in his life, you want more than he does. And that's the problem. You're at two different levels and you had two different illusions or dreams of what love is and life is. And you're not on the same, let's just put it this way. He's really a 6 and you're really working towards the 3. So that makes you struggle. But you have a baby, I know, funny. You have, you know, a little one that needs you so much, and that's what I knew you were focusing on to get through some of the loneliness that you deal with. But you honestly have to make the decision. Yeah, but do you hold your celestite, Taylor, and work with it like you're supposed to be? Anyway, and that's the problem. And I have to tell you, eventually he's going to get older, that baby, and you're going to help him create an amazing life, and you're going to teach him all the things that there needs to be in his life. And then he's going to have his life. So you need to really figure out what it is, what you want for yours. And you're worth it. You really are, but I know it's hard for you. Hey, are you at the gym? I was just talking about your gym earlier, by the way. Are you still going to be there, or are you home already? Actually, Michaela, listen to me. You need to get a session. I'm like very curious. I mean, that's not why you're so tired, Yellow Wolf. At all. At all. You're just really funny when you say that, but that's okay. You should get a session because we're supposed to do a session together and because it's going to be brilliant. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow then. I have no choice and we have a baby and he needs us. Yes, he does. And I can't get into that, but so you're making a choice. All right, Karina, let me explain something to you. You're making a choice. So unless you choose to have a serious talk with him to make the changes that you need to make you feel more fulfilled and more like a woman and to have your life, to have the color, because it's just so black and white right now. There's no color except for that baby in your life. You have to be honest and open about it and let him know what it is that you want and what it is that you need, and actually ask what he wants and see if you guys can do that, because you could still raise a baby together and be happy not together, if that makes any sense. Because otherwise you don't want to get to the end of your life where you kept your mouth shut and you suffered. It's like you're mourning a marriage before your marriage has even ended or before your life has ended. So then you have to tell him what you need and be more clear and do everything you can. If it comes to the point where you have to move on so that you both give yourself an opportunity to be happy, which is really where this thing is going, just so you know, and it's really going to be your choice, then at least you tried, if that makes any sense. All right, you want to do past lives? I got it. You think he wants to play? And look, he's spinning. So when are you going to do your... Yeah, but Lucy, we're doing a regular session. Do you... But we're doing... Kane, we're doing a soul retrieval on you tomorrow. Didn't I already do your lives, Kane? How many lives you had? Oh, Michaela. Okay. I got off. Yes, regression. There we are. Hold on. You guys get all excited. Okay, hold on. Kane. Yes, we're doing a soul retrieval. Okay, so we can play a little past lives. Didn't I already do how many past lives you had? What did Taylor say? I have to look back at what Taylor said. You guys are too funny. You guys are funny. You know what cats are? Cats are very powerful. It's your familiar. Okay, yeah, because we're doing your whole future session. Okay. Now, because I let you guys tap in and some people who said they've done past lives work, I want you all to focus in on Cain. And I want you guys to feel and tell me how many past lives you think he's had. How many? I'm waiting for numbers. And then we'll play with my little pendulum. Yes, Canes. Lisa says 10. $13. Karina says 15. Mikey's 3. Okay. 17, 7, 9, 12. Some of you guys are close. Nobody's gotten it yet, though. Cain, how many lifetimes you think you've been here? How many? Got an 11. Why are you double guessing, Miriam? Wow, somebody got it. Cain, you got it. I'm calling it 14 lifetimes. Very good, Cain. This is a good thing, but you kind of already knew you had a feeling. So, for anybody who hasn't been on there, show me what you do when you say yes. Stop. Show me what you do when you say no. Show me what you do when you're thinking. Stop. How many lifetimes has Cain been here? Count them out for me. I'm calling 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and it goes back and forth. 14 lifetimes, very good. You also had oopsie lifetime too, Cain. There was an energy of another half where you were supposed to come and you decided not to, that you were going to come at a later time. Which is interesting. It's really interesting. Wow. And it's connected to your current, the mom this lifetime's energy. Wow. Hold on, I'm focusing in on Cain right now. Yes, you did get it right. I'm very, very proud of you. You're starting to feel more since we did a little bit of work that we did, and you really go according to how you feel, and you've been trusting your instinct and making some moves that you've needed to make. And I think the soul retrieval, based on what I just got on your past lifetimes and your current lifetime energy with your current mother, is really, really interesting. So I think the soul retrieval is going to help a lot for you, and I think it's going to allow a lot of things to come to life. And I think you're going to be okay with some things. So I'm really excited about that. It's almost like you gave your mom a second chance this lifetime when being bored. It's really weird because it's like you had a do-over where you were going to come in and then you decided at the time not to come in. So it was kind of like, you know, that type, but then because of what the energy was going on at the time, and then you kind of picked the time it was right for you to be born to your same mother. So it's very, very interesting. And that relationship is where things that have been in that relationship and places where she's been at emotionally and mentally in her lifetime has really affected everything, and affects you very deeply. I'd say frustrating, a little frustrating. Yes, it is beautiful to have a connection like that, but can be a little bit frustrating. Let me tell you something. I already told you something. First of all, anybody who hangs out with me is everything and anything but basic. None of you basic. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you are in my soul family, this is my soul family, we're all here by no chance. It's because we've intertwined and spent lifetimes together. And it's the truth. We have crossed each other's paths before. Don't ever get it twisted. Souls recognize souls. And where they feel comfortable and they choose to spend their time are the places that they belong, unless they're here to learn something. Yeah, Kane. And I that's why I think the soul retrieval was the good decision we decided to make. So I'm going to expect you to be prepared after this soul retrieval tomorrow. You're going to have to drink a lot of water, and you're just going to have to let everything flow and deal with it, because you're going to kind of be dealing with it for a few days after. So it's actually pretty cool that we got this tonight, because I kind of know what we're in for tomorrow a little bit. Nothing bad, but there's just a lot of things that you're going to be looking at again and going, okay, I get it. Or what did Michaela say? Where's Michaela? Oh my God, you're so funny, Michaela. Okay, do I really need to call you out? Do I really need to call you out? What's your sign, Michaela? Because if anything, I would say you were you were a Leo, honest to God, because you resonate Leo energy, with a little bit of the drama of a Sagittarius. No, you have had past lives, so I'll do you next. I want to discuss your path as far as becoming an esthetician. You need to do something different. It is a good path for you, but you have to, and I'm going to call you out, you have to stop. You have to do this because it's something you truly love to do. So you need to give it the time it needs to manifest within you, because you have to go through some of the boring stuff and the lame stuff before you get to the good stuff. I want you to focus on the new things that are coming out that are going to make you the most amount of money, so you're not stuck doing something hour after hour to the point where you just get overwhelmed and you get frustrated and you end up hating doing it. Because you actually are somebody that needs a little bit of freedom in between things. So it is a very good job for you. But you need to go like dermaplaning for the skin. Gua sha, which is something you add to it, which is a form of energy healing. It's almost lymphatic massage on the face for the sinuses and everything, and it changes the way your skin looks, and you actually use special crystals. You need to add into it, you should be doing some energy type healing and connecting with it. So you're not just supposed to be doing the aesthetic stuff. Do the basic stuff, but do the stuff that's a little bit different that nobody else does. And I will tell you, anybody who's in California, dermaplaning is very hard to get. It's not an easy thing. And I know you like making people feel pretty and helping their skin, so you're not exactly a fan of the vampire facials and things like that. But you have to add a little bit. There's something with the lymphatic system that's important to you. So you have to broaden your scope, and you have to finish your course. You're another one that once you start it, you have to finish it. So you better pick what you truly believe in. But I think it's going to evolve. The type of stuff you do is going to evolve a little bit further, and that's okay. You have to start something, but finish it because it's building a base for you, because you're going to grow. Okay? That's number one. All right, Michaela has past lifetimes, so she needs to... Now, I'm going to say this to you, and I need you to take a breath and get over yourself. That's the first thing I need to do, and that's not saying anything negative. You put up blocks. It's kind of like you want to know things, but you don't want to know things, and you kind of want to think that you didn't screw up, but just because you have past lives didn't mean you screwed up in them. We all have past lives. We all evolve and grow. Okay? And you're not lagging behind either. That's another thing. So, everybody on here, who's going to guess how many past lives that Miss Michaela's had? And Michaela, you argue with yourself way too much. Holy shit, you argue with yourself way too much. Wow. You need to stop doing that with yourself too. You need to give yourself a break. Wow. I can like hear you, the way you argue with yourself. You definitely need to stop. Okay. When you're not, and that's part of the problem. Okay, so I got a 9, I got an 11, I got a 5, and she's going to let down her wall because she puts up a wall. Miss Michaela O'Brien, you should know better than that. Stop blocking. You need to start releasing that energy so you can take a breath. I got a 7, I got an 8, I got a 5, I got an 11, I got a 4. Holy crap, so true. Told ya. Told ya. Michaela, hey Eileen. And I'm screaming again. There's an echo. I want my other room back again. Eileen, how many lifetimes does Michaela O'Brien have? Michaela, we never did your lifetimes. I thought we did. We didn't? For reals? I thought I already did your lifetimes. Well, that's the biggest thing. So you guys have to realize, like usually when I work with people, I have a box of tissues. I thought we did, honey. Because I'm a crossroads healer. Usually people who come at me, I'm not yelling. But let me tell you, I'm Italian too, so we automatically speak loud. And there's an echo. But because I'm a crossroads healer and because I see past, present, and future, and I can feel you and see what's going on and the path you're on and where you're supposed to be and what blocks you. When I work with you, I tell you exactly how it is and I speak truth. And because you're like, holy crap, how does she know this? But it resonates with you. It can affect you very deeply because it brings everything up, because it's like, no, number one, you all of a sudden feel, oh my God, she gets me. Oh my God, I can say what I feel or what I really truly believe. And then you have to make decisions in your life. So it can be very emotional because then you have to choose, because then you're giving knowledge and answers. So you've actually been given a path and you have to choose which way to go with it. Eileen, you knew what was coming with your brother. I know Eileen very well, guys. And that's why as a trainer, too, I have an edge when I work with people, because I can see into people, know what they need, what blocks them, and I know what buttons to push. But I do use that knowledge to your benefit, not my own. I know you are. Normally, if you guys are hanging out with me, too, you're coming into a crossroads. And usually it can be for the good. And it's in a good way that I make you guys all cry. You were a mess, but you were doing so well. Okay, so, and then Eileen, we're going to get to you, love. All right. Michaela. Anybody who's new, it's in a good thing. It's in a transformational way that everybody cries. And I'm always there to hug. I always give you guys hugs, especially if I see you in person and I make it better. Hey, Martini. Okay, so let's do Michaela's lifetimes. And Michaela, you're deferring a little bit from our session as well. That's why I see so much more than just the esthetician. It's just the beginning for you, and you know there's so much more growth after that. So... okay, so let's do it. Everybody's connected Let me go back to Eileen so I can see what's going on with Eileen, and then I'll finish Michaela. Why is my phone doing this now? My phone's doing something weird. Oh, there we go. Okay. Eileen, we've talked to you about your brother before. So Eileen, I'll let you respond. And then Michaela, I'm not going to forget your lifetimes. Crying is a way of getting everything out and purging so that you could stand up and move forward. Crying is very important, male or female. Martini. And the thing I love about you is you just have such brilliant energy. For somebody who can sometimes present a facade of always not being the happiest, you are actually filled with bubbles. Don't be afraid of letting people actually to see that energy you have inside you. Don't be afraid to let it out, because the response you're going to get is amazing. Is absolutely amazing. And you're actually very funny too. And you don't give yourself enough credit. So stop, don't be, you got to get over a little bit of fear and just put yourself out there, mama. You really do, because you are just amazing, and you have so much good energy, and you're just bubbles. You really are. All right. Okay. Lives, we're doing that, but we were doing Eileen too, because she had to, everybody needs to have bubbles. I love bubbles. Everybody knows that. I miss a bathtub too. I was looking at a house. I need a bathtub again. I miss my bathtub. Okay, hold on a minute. Eileen, we've already spoken in reference to not only your brother, but your entire family, remember? And we've actually, I think, discussed it before. And I know it's so hard for you, but he keeps making similar choices and keeps repeating things, and he tries and he does better, and then your brother actually consciously chooses the things that he does, and then he makes excuses for things. And the thing is he has to find his way. You have to focus on your life and what's going on with you now. You have to focus on Jake. You have to focus on your future and what's making you happy, because you were doing better, and you can be there, but he's got to stand on his own 2 feet. You already were responsible of taking care of so many other people. You don't start worrying about taking care more of yourself and of your other half, because you got enough there to deal with, okay? Because this isn't new with him. Yeah, but you're there for his kids. That's what you got to focus on. You have to tell him the truth and speak the truth. And then with his kids, you're already there. You're already such a huge part of their lives, Eileen. You're such a huge part of their lives. But the thing is you can't control his choice. Yep. Those are her babies. Her 6 and her 4-year-old niece, those are her babies, legitimately. So you focus on what you need to do around him and trying to help him, but you can't let it overtake your life. You can't. He's going to have to hit rock bottom, because you guys have already tried so much to help him. He has to hit rock bottom before he changes. And all you guys can do is try to lessen the blow, but you can't let it overtake you. You can't. And you and I are going to have to talk a little bit more about that. That's a huge subject, and it's just because of how he cycles. Your brother cycles. You know he cycles, and you know he has triggers. So that's really hard. That's so hard, and you can't fix it. And I've dealt with people who were alcoholics and addicts and so many things, and there's only so much that you can do, and you're not responsible for them. But what you can do is you can be there for the ones who are suffering because of him, and put the cushion in that you need. But you have to put you and Jake first and be there when you can be there, but you can't let that consume your life. Exactly, he does. It's all with him. It's always an excuse. It's always poor me, always the victim, and yada, 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 and nobody understands. So, and you have to understand, there has to be a choice made that says you need to either shit or get off the pot. If he can't get his shit together, he doesn't deserve to be around those babies. And that's the hard truth. That's the hard truth. So unfortunately, with some people, you have to do tough love. There has to be the hard truth where it's tough love, but you're there with the love to carry through when everything goes through. But he needs to get his shit together, because it's not about him anymore. And he's being extremely selfish. But Eileen, look back on his life. He always has been. And it's always been one excuse after another. And you're not supposed to keep putting out the fires. You need to focus on you and Jake. You have to, and be there for them babies and do what you need to do for them, because the babies are the victim in the whole thing. But he may have to crash and burn before he can come out on the other end of this. So, and I do understand that. He can get better, but he has to be given no other choice. You know the buttons to push with your brother. You know. People in his direct circle of life, in his family, know the buttons to push with him. You guys have to be brave enough to push that button. You guys, somebody has to draw the line and say, it's enough now. And he's going to be pissed off. He's going to be pissed. But what else are you going to do? You can't keep coddling him. You can't keep pussyfooting around him. Because it doesn't work. You have to take a different approach. And now it's like almost like, even though head on with him sucks, I know that coming head on with him sometimes sucks. But it's almost like you have to, Eileen, it's almost like something has to be removed from him. Eileen, check this out. We're going to have to talk about this. It's almost hitting him head on without hitting him head on. But almost something has to be removed from him. And he has to be without for a little bit. Not that it's gone for good. But he has to really understand what that loss is and what it feels like to truly not have what you love most. For him to realize what he's done and what he's doing and what's going to ultimately happen if he can't get his shit together. So collectively, I think you guys have to come together and make a plan. Yep, it's almost like he's got to come home to an empty house. You know what I'm saying? Because the 6-year-old gets afraid sometimes of him, huh, Eileen? Not even the 6-year-old, more the 4-year-old. There's something about him. And that's what's going to have to happen. So put those kids first. Once he really realizes and that's his greatest loss. Yep, that's exactly what you need to do with him. Coming straight on doesn't work with him. He just says, fuck you. So you have to remove something. Yeah, but he's going to get them back again. It's not permanent. And it's not like she's going to say he can't ever see him. But he has to realize that one day if he's getting drunk and does the thing that he does, because he's not a good drunk. Let's just put it that way. That it's not fair to them. So, so maybe for a couple of days they got to come stay with you for a little bit. And then he has the opportunity to change, but he has to have something to change for, because to him himself isn't good enough to change. He's got to have something more to fight for. But coming straight on doesn't work with him. And the only way is by having him almost come home to something where he doesn't have something. Yeah, you have to send them strength and love, because it's not that they're bad. It's just too hard on the babies, and they do suffer from it for lifetimes. It's not just temporary. And that's the only chance he's going to have. But it's not your responsibility. He is not your responsibility. You've done everything you can. Exactly. You've done everything you can. So you had the right instinct, because that's what they told me to tell you. Where I said you can't go head on. You had to remove them from him. And he has to be without them for a little bit for him to wake the fuck up. And know that something has to change. And then when he starts complaining, say, this is what has to do, and we're here to help you. We love you. But you don't want your kids. Remind him of things when he's in that position. Because then he might start feeling again the way he needs to feel, and start actually caring about other people more than he cares about himself, in the way where it's not in a good way, if that makes sense. And I'm saying that as gingerly as possible, because I know there's some other people on here that have dealt with this, and it may not seem fair, but it's the truth. And sometimes anything worth happening or any effective change has to be done, because God forbid it goes the other direction. So, truth is truth, basically. Hello, Raquel. Okay, so that's you, Eileen. So you're on a good path. Keep it moving. Focus on that, babies. Do what needs to be done unapologetically. Because if you're doing it in truth and you're following your gut instinct, and it's not only for his best interest ultimately in his life, but also for theirs, because they can't fight for themselves. They are the victims. Babies are the victims, and really old people are the victims. And people that get sneak attacks on them that have any control. Anybody else that's in any kind of situation, whether it be abuse, addiction, any of those things, no, there's no such thing as a victim. You always have a choice. And I can say that from experience. It doesn't mean that what you went through or what's happening to you is easy and not scary. It doesn't mean that it's right. It means that you always have a choice. So you choose. So when you know that something's right now, not right, and you choose to stay in it, you chose to make that choice. You chose to stay there. So never consider yourself a victim. There may have been reasons why you had to stay, but it was a choice. But babies, old people, if you're walking down the street and somebody jumps you and robs you or some stupid shit like that, those are victims. Otherwise, we all always have a choice. What smoke alarm where? What smoke alarm? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so let's do this. And I'm saying that from experience, just so you know. If I tell you, it's the AC in back. Yeah, that's AC. Not that it works very well. And look, it says Ra on it. Anybody want to tell me it's why it's so cool that it says Ra? The beep. I don't hear a beep. I'm listening, but I don't hear one. Okay, yes you are. And you're male and female mixed in one. Okay, so we're going back to my love. Ra, the sun. Yes, ancient Egyptian. Rising. Look at that. Michaela, how many lifetimes do you think you've been here? Miss, I don't think I've been here any. Stop projecting that. I know you said 10. Michaela, tell me. We already did Mel's lifetimes. Michaela, call it. Nope. You haven't been here a long time. You're pretty new. You are. You are. 4. Okay. How many lifetimes has Michaela been here? And swing big for them. Show off a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he goes right back and forth because he goes back and forth when he stops. 4 lifetimes. We never did, in all the times I've talked to you, Mel, we've never done your lifetimes. Okay, let's call. So you've been here 4 lifetimes, Michaela. So you are a baby, but you're not brand new. This isn't your first one. Okay, Mel. No, we didn't. So. Okay. Let's do Mel before she gets cranky. Ooh, you want to know something else too, Michaela? Okay. Michaela, are you ever doing a past life before I do this? Oh, I've read other people that have been here since the beginning of time. Like I've been here since the beginning of time, and those are other light workers and masters and things like that. I've done a lot of work on masters because I'm one of a few that can work on masters and other people. Because there's a lot of masters and light workers, healers, and people who do what I do that nobody else is able to read them. So I've actually been very blessed where that's one of my jobs is to help them. No, it's not two, Brooke. You're so funny. And you know better. You want it to be two. Because you feel so damn old. You don't feel young. What did Mossy say? I gotta go back. I know we did, and you gotta remember, half the time I do shit in spirit. I know Maggie's husband's been here 36 lifetimes. Did we have somebody that was 57 once? I can't remember. I know her husband was 36 lifetimes. Hold on a minute. I go back to what Mossy said. No, I swear. I believe you. You don't have to swear. Oh, how funny. We didn't. Mossy, what do? Take notes? Hello, Weber. Okay. And then we're going to do Brooke Davies because your energy cracks me up. And you, Brooke, you're a good person. And so I don't want you to take what I'm going to say wrong because it's not wrong. You have a tendency to play, in meaning you don't always let people on in what you know. You know more than you let on, especially when you're dealing with some people, especially when you're arrogant, and it actually almost makes you laugh to yourself. So you're actually extremely smart, but you have to really start using the knowledge that you have and the feelings that you get to your benefit. And you need to stop playing. And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a negative, because you don't have a mean nature in you. You don't hurt people. You just can let things go. Let's just put it that way. Instead of creating something with it or something more. There's so much more to you. But let's do Mel. How many lifetimes do you think Mel's been here? I could have swore we did. Yeah. Close, Yellow Wolf. Close. All right, Mel. How many lifetimes have you been here? Go with your instinct. Doesn't matter what Mossy says, even though we all love Annie and know that she really is connected, her and her little bit of fairy magic she's got going on. Ecstasy. And then I gotta tell, Taylor says 24. Miriam said 24. Well, guess what I'm saying? I'm saying 24. Okay, little man. How many lifetimes has Mel been here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and we went back and forth. 24. And then let's do Brooke Davies. Brooke, how many lifetimes do you think you've been here, baby? And you know better. You know what, though? You need to own it. You need to own it. You need to own up to it. You need to accept it. You need to be okay with it. You know more than you allow yourself to think. No, really, Mel? You think you're hard-headed? You're welcome, love. Brooke thinks 11. Give me Brooks, guys, and then we got to go do a past life thing with Michaela. Because actually, Michaela really needs it right now. She needs this. Yellow Wolf says 7. It's a derivative. If that's the right word for it. I'm waiting. And this is, I love the fact that you guys are trying. Now if I could just guys get you to settle and feel. Like I think Taylor said, oh shit, I saw it. Because sometimes it'll picture in your head and you know, and then you second guess it. You don't go with the first thing. Always go with your first instinct, that first feeling, that first bit of sight or what you hear. 14. She's a lot smarter. It's almost like you don't want to accept responsibility, and you need to start accepting responsibility. 14. Brooke Davies, give us her lifetimes here. 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lifetimes. Michaela. Sunflowers. Yeah, there was 2 14s tonight. Past lifetime. In fact, it was your third one, so it was the last one. Sunflowers. And Michaela, you have a tendency to jump right back in, okay? With your lifetimes, you don't hang out. You jump right back in. So your lifetimes have come quickly. You've had 2 of them that was very long. One that was about half of what the other ones. And this one, you're headed in a good direction. The biggest thing I see in your third lifetime is wildflowers. And sunflowers, I'm sorry. Big, yellow sunflowers. Huge. And that's why I think you're going more into being an esthetician this lifetime, because you knew of the healing benefits of plants and of flowers. Okay? No, sunflowers for, you're so funny. And you could have energy in a plant. You could. You can go, when you're in spirit realm, you can go into a tree. You worked with them. You worked with them huge. And that's why it's almost like going as an esthetician. Remember I said it's more, you're going to start with something, but you're going to get bored. It's something you got to do. It's like you're going to start developing things out of like the oils and the benefits of the plants itself. So you worked with them. So you're kind of continuing what you started in the last lifetime. Now let me ask you a question. See, I don't like doing this because if you did a past lifetime, I'm kind of screwing it up for you. But they're showing it to me, so they're probably showing it to me for a reason right now. Last lifetime, I'm getting you were right around 43 when you moved on, okay? No, but you're going to have to allow it to grow. That's why I said finish what you started. It's going to grow from there, and don't do something everything else does, because you do get bored. Remember, I told you that. And you're more into development and liking to stand out. Let me tell you something. Gary Carver's dad came back in his cat. Like they saw him in this cat and his energy, which is cool. But that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different life. That's not what we're doing. Yep, that could be part of something that's being a past life being taken. But you have a thing, which there's some people that's going to resonate with this. Funny, extraterrestrial cat. You guys are just losing it. Are you drinking right now, Mossy? Are you vibing on something right now? You are not an extraterrestrial cat. Funny, though. So funny. What happens to you with your breath? See, I want you to start feeling this, because the whole thing is, and you're actually more terrified of of having a child and having the child being kidnapped. It's not you, it's what could be taken from you. So that's your thing with that. But I want you, what happens to you with your breath? See, I hate doing this with you guys, because then I don't want to plant something in your brain. That's why I'll only do one thing. I'm not going to go back any further than that. But they're showing me the third lifetime with it. Okay, so with your breath. Okay, I want you to take your breath, because I already know it. Okay. And it affects your breathing because you can't breathe and you start coughing, correct? And not having the ability to breathe because you have an issue with being in closed places. Because Mel, her third lifetime, what did she die from? And if anybody else gets this, because I see this so very clearly. You already know that, Yellow Wolf. But ET is like calling somebody a psychic. It's a bad word. A celestial being. Thank you, Mossy. Thank you. Can you see it, Michaela? See, I hate doing this because this is something you're supposed to do a past life regression and see yourself. So I'm whining, but I'm going to give it to you. Mel, what'd she die from? Yes, we're going Atlantean to Lumerian to Ondarian. Yellow Wolf. That's why that crystal should make you happy. Form of suffocation, yes. In a past life, the third lifetime, you had a big thing with flowers. In fact, specifically sunflowers. And I could see you clearly, like at one point, walking through fields of sunflowers and working with them. It's how she died because she was trapped. That's why, oh, thank you. That's why it's hard for me to say things, but I think this is going to help you, Michaela. Number one, you're okay to have a kid. You should have a kid. They're not going to get taken from you, ever. That's number one, so don't ever be afraid of that. So I have to get that out of there because that's your fear of that. And sunflowers in yellow is big for you. And fields of them, and you actually died from smoke inhalation, not a fire. You weren't burned, and you were stuck in an elevator. So it's like the elevator stopped, you were stuck in it, you couldn't get out, and that's why your breath and why smoke affects you so much, almost like you have an allergy to it. Yeah, yellow is huge for you. So in knowing that, okay, and the only reason I think they showed me that, because you guys know that I don't like giving you what I see in your past life on the lives, because if there's ever a chance that you're going to do a past life regression, I don't want to have planted a seed, but with where you're at in your life and how you feel suffocated and you stop yourself out of fear of things and you feel like you're trapped and it's hard for you to break out and do things, I think if you turn around and you remember, like I told you guys to read Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss, because it does explain a lot of things. some things that have happened in our past life are things that can affect you in your current life and you don't realize it. Yes, you feel very suffocated. You feel very trapped, like putting your hands on walls. Things freak you out. Why you feel trapped in your life and you can't breathe. And I think, and so much of yourself is trapped within yourself and how you look at yourself and how you feel yourself, but how you know you are. So you see yourself and you feel yourself in a completely different way because you get the feelings, but your body gets confused because you know better. But all these things come flourishing in, so you start feeling trapped. So that's why you don't finish things that you're started. That's why you're afraid to move on with something because it might not be right because something was taken from you. There's so many things that have happened to you. So I think Spirit allowed me to see that for you because of the thing. Yeah, but Taylor, you drowned, didn't you? Didn't we do when I did work with you that you had actually drowned? I think. I get some confused because I get things on you guys all the time. I really should start writing shit down. But I don't need to. I like having things come in spirit and having them resurface again anyway. It's better. It's just more validation for me. But so that's, yeah, you drowned. But anchors are big with you. Because I see anchor with you, anchors with you. I thought I did tell you that. I see something with anchors and rope. Is what I had gotten for you. So that's why it's so huge for you. So I think, Michaela, they allowed yourself. That would explain part of your thing with connection and relationships too, Taylor. Ooh. Yellow Wolf, you sacrificed yourself in another life. But you didn't commit suicide. You gave up your life for somebody else, and you already know that too, don't you? I just saw that so very quickly. But that's what it is. Not yet, Michaela. Finish what you started. Okay, finish what you started. It's so important for you. But I think when you start getting those feelings of being closed in, when you can't breathe, I want you to remember this is not this lifetime. This was my past life. That's over now. This doesn't hold me back anymore. So that's a way for you to talk yourself out of it. You and your sister have a very, very special connection. But it wasn't for your sister that you sacrificed. But you continuously always protect and feel responsible for. So you're constantly sacrificing in a way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but you didn't sacrifice your life to where you had given it up for them. You haven't had to be in that position for her. But you know what? You love the way your sister hugs you, don't you, Yellow Wolf? Like you crave it. Yes? And crave might be the mad word. It just makes you feel warm. You have such a special kind of feeling, and it's almost like you protect her, but also you have a responsibility towards her. So this is where it makes sense. And you miss her desperately. Who do you think your sister was to you? I want you to do this yourself. I don't want to tell you. Because I want you to feel this and I want you to get the connection, especially telepathically. So I want you to give us, to work with the things that you've said. Okay? And you sacrificed yourself for this person 3 lifetimes back. Focus in on the energy you have and the love you have for your sister and the type of love you have for your sister. And it's really the most precious kind of love. So nobody go thinking anything that they shouldn't be thinking. Because everybody automatically starts going in a direction that they shouldn't. Who do you think your sister was 3 lifetimes ago? In one lifetime, she was your twin. But 3 lifetimes ago, who do you think she was to you? Think about how much you miss her, what you actually need from her when you speak to her. And the funniest thing is there's different ways to say the word, but there's only one way. She was your mother. And you took care of her. It was in a lifetime where it was just you and her. No, she raised you. But in a way, you were kind of raising her because you had to take care of her too. But you've been intertwined and connected many lifetimes. There was a lifetime where she was your twin as well. So that you do have, that's why you have such a special connection to her. It's like there can't be one without the other. So it's actually really cool. It's actually really neat. I like that. It's really neat. It's interesting when we start going and you guys really start opening up a little bit what's allowed to come through to me. But Michaela, hopefully what I said to you helps you and should help you. And don't get up and go anywhere. And I don't think you're necessarily supposed to be in Tampa, Florida. I'm trying to think. The west coast of Florida would be good for you, but I don't know if Tampa, it's a smaller place, but a busier place. That you have to really look geographically. It's a place where there's a higher economic level geographically. There's a little bit more money in that area that sustains the type of work you're going to be doing. And I know that's really not what drives you, but the path you're taking, you're going to be doing very specific kind of work. Guys, if your family's been with you this time, it stands to believe that unless it's their first lifetime, you've run circles with them before. And I think that's the scariest thing that people do when they pass on. A lot of people know that there's another side, there's the other side, and we go someplace. But the scariest thing is not dying. I think the scariest thing for people is the people that they love so much in this lifetime. It's the thought that they may not have them in the next, or they may not remember them and things like that. So I think that, but you run lifetimes together because, there's some brilliant people in your life that you can't imagine ever being without, and you don't want to forget them. So I know it can be very, very scary, but it's going to be okay. They stay with you. Just sometimes, before it's time to evolve enough to where we get to go home to our own heavens, there's a path that we take. Grandchild, Mossy. Because when you said that and I focused in, I heard grandchild. So he's not going to come back till then. And I already told you he wasn't going to be back for a little bit. Grandchild. She already knows it. She already sees him. She feels him and talks to him already. She already talks to her dad. She already talks to her dad. But he's going to be a grandbaby. What would make you think, Martini, that you would ever not protect her or ever be with her? Because in saying that means you've already made the choice that if you do move on, that you're going to come back as one of her guides, as basically like an angel for her. That you're going to choose to stay with her and stay with her daughter until it's time for you to, when you choose. So understand you're already making the choice that if something does happen and you do move on, and something happens to you, and it's not going to be anytime soon, and we have 28 seconds left. I love you guys. If you need me, you can book me and message me or whatever. I'll be back. But you've already made a decision that you're not going to leave her, and you're going to be able to protect her even more when you do cross over. So that's a good thing. But I do love you guys so much. And I will be back. So we've been on 2 hours tonight. But I will be back, guys, and I love you to death. And you know, if you need me, just message me. I'm always here. Okay? Have a good night.